Suzanne, I know you've been talking with this woman. She's trying to find a place. No, I know. That's what this is about. She's trying to find a shelter to go to.
My place until you find some place. We're dry.
That's what's amazing. She came over here and she's been stopping by asking people, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And she's just stopped here to ask this family.
She's trying to find somebody, and I think we're socked in. I don't think she's going to be able to get where she wants to go. So I just showed her my teacher ID. I'm not a nut. I'm a retiree.
And bless her heart, because you see these, and I'm sorry she's on the phone here, and you're a child, and you're all your stuff in a trash bag, and on the phone trying to figure out where to go. We definitely don't want to interrupt that conversation.
We're like a little island right here.
But yeah, this is what we're seeing, and this is what's so sad. And I know these buses over here. The good news is there are buses, and they are taking
some of them to Lakewood now.
They're taking people to different shelters across the area, and that's the good news. But for some people, it's just difficult, and they want to be in their home or in around.
Spread out here anyway. It's hard to get to your family.
But it's so sweet of you. Why did you want to offer your home?
Because I'm sitting over there dry, and they're standing here with a baby in the rain.
Yeah, it's tough to see, right? Yeah. It's tough to see, and we just saw another busload of people get off. Here are some other people walking up too. People that are coming in, and basically you see some of those military vehicles. They've been coming on that. They've been coming in on boats, and unfortunately they're okay and safe. Are you guys okay?
Yeah. Thank God.
Oh,
it was something else.
Yeah, how long?
You think you can wait it out, and then it's just like the water was rising out of nowhere, well, we thought it would go down, and then it didn't, so they came and got us, thank God.
So we're
volunteers in the Coast Guard.
What do you think about all these people, this response?
I think it's amazing. I mean, God bless them. All the Coast Guard, volunteers, people from Waller County. I mean, I'm shooken up.
Oh, well, can you describe? And I'm so glad you're okay. Thank God you're okay. That's the important thing, right?
Yeah.
And for all our viewers at home, the photographer tonight, Charles and I were back there in the neighborhoods. We saw it, but describe it. How it is.
The water is way up high. I mean, it's that little ride that it took from my house, which is one street over from the apartments that are flooded, and everywhere is flooded. It took about 30 minutes for us to just get around the block. I mean, it was a long time.
Wow.
And car, it would take like 5 seconds.
And that's just the kind of water you're dealing with and the intensity and...
Basically, yeah. I mean, it's bad.
Well, I'm glad you're okay. You have a place to go?
Yes, we do.
Good.
We actually have an apartment in the Galleria. We came out here for refuge with my family and my parents, but now this is... Yeah.
Now you're seeking refuge. Well, good. I'm glad you have a place to go. That's important. Will you be safe?
I appreciate it. Y'all too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that's just one of the many stories out here, and you see people with their pets, their children. I really pray that woman is going to find a place to go. And this is a story that we're seeing over and over again. People get off the boat and they say, now what? Now what do I do? And thank God they've escaped these dangerous and potentially life-threatening floodwaters. But now you see all these people on their phone trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? And that is the unfortunate event, and people are just sitting here. I'm glad that they at least are not getting wet. They're at least sitting under an awning, because they certainly don't need any more rain to deal with right now. But it is very devastating for all these families, and I'm glad so many people like Suzanne have reached out to offer their support, guys.
Milo, that has been one of the most difficult things for me to watch in all of our coverage, and that is the people that are rescued and taken out have all of their belongings in plastic bags.
Yep.
And I don't mean to minimize the impact on me or anybody else who flooded out, but when you see that, you go, oh, I'm okay. Okay.
Right.
And that is really tough to watch.
Also the children, like you said. I mean, just holding a baby or holding a child, and you've lost all of their belongings. You don't have supplies for them.
No, you don't.
Marla, thank you. That's actually one of the reasons why we're talking about the need at GRB being baby supplies. Formula and diapers, any kind of baby supplies you can take down there. They can really use them right now.
And then there's the dark side to this. 14 looters have been arrested in Harris County so far. Thank goodness it's only 14. but police have gotten them. And they've raised the penalties, right, for looting?
Yes.
Thank God for that.
So normally the burglary of a habitation would carry 2 to 20 years as a penalty, and now they're looking at 5 to life. So get the word out about that as we try to put a very quick end to that. 14 looters, as you said, in the county is not a huge number, but that's who's been caught now.
That's exactly.
Got to put an end to that immediately.
People take advantage of people like that at this time or at any time.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's go back to Laura Anthony because she is in Cinco Ranch and she's out there. There's a lot of National Guard troops out there. We've seen a lot of these boats, and you've made it onto one of those boats. Incredibly high water in this neighborhood, right?
Yeah, that's right, Alana. We are in Cinco Ranch, one of the subdivisions. We're actually on a private boat. These guys have been nice enough to take us into this neighborhood. They're actually responding to a call for help from a family. Let's show you what this looks like, though. This street is, and I'm going to ask Dusty, who's the local here, where are we?
We are in Kellywood Greens, I think, which is right off Fry Avenue, South Fry, in Cinco Ranch.
How deep do you think this water is?
I would say probably 4 to 5 feet deep. 4 to 5 feet deep. In the street here, it's maybe even deeper than that.
And these are people, some of them who wanted to stay, right?
Yeah, a lot of, matter of fact, we're having a lot of issues with people refusing to leave, even though they've been told they need to get out. Because the water, we've been told the water is going to continue to rise until Friday. Just because of all the water coming downstream.
All right, let's take a look in front of us here. I mean, this is just an intersection. This is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Lots of folks still have their cars here, and they may be in those houses.
Yeah, matter of fact, for every person we've gotten out today, we've had 4 tell us they didn't want to leave.
We just went by a group of guys who were on a second floor of an apartment, and you guys were telling them, you know, some of these boats, they may not be here later.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, earlier there were a lot more boats around, but, you know, they're moving them, I think, to places below the reservoir where water's coming over the top of the reservoir, so below the reservoir they're getting flooded a bit worse. Believe it or not. And so I think a lot of the boats are heading down there to help people out.
So that would be from where we are now, what direction?
East, towards downtown.
Okay, and we're coming up, it looks like, on this house. This may be where these folks actually decided now they've had enough time to get out?
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. So Alana and Tom, this is Cinco Ranch. Again, it's a neighborhood called?
Cinco Ranch, I think this particular neighborhood's Kellywood Greens, I believe.
Okay, and we're just kind of cruising up to these homes. Obviously, many of them are second-story homes, but folks have been out here now for several days, and unfortunately, even though it's stopped raining at the moment anyway, the water continues to rise, and from what we're saying, or what you're hearing, Dusty, the concern is it will continue to rise. So if people need to get out or want to get out, they need to make a decision.
Yeah, well, and they say this area is going to remain flooded for at least 2 to 3 weeks. So yeah, they need to get out.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible out here, you guys. Alana and Tom. Obviously, being from California, we haven't seen this out in our way, fortunately.
No, you face different kinds of disasters out there. I know they've had some serious flooding out there, but this is like anything, unlike anything you've ever seen in your life, isn't it?
No, it is, Tom. I've covered, I've been doing this a long time. I've been to tornadoes. I've been to, in California we have the really bad fires. I have not seen anything like this that is of this grand size, if you will. I mean, this goes, obviously, we were just getting into town last night. We're driving down every which way, trying to just get into Houston. But what struck me is everywhere you look, left, right, all these different subdivisions. Doesn't matter if it's, expensive or not so much. These folks are all facing a very similar emergency, and from what we've seen, people really pulling together in a way that I honestly haven't seen before. It's really incredible and striking, and I can tell you from the reaction we're getting back in Northern California, folks are really reaching out to you guys and hoping that they can help in any way possible, and if nothing else, certainly sending their love and their prayers.
Yeah, they can, and just make even a small donation. Laura Anthony from our sister station, KGO, thank you very much. We're all struck by how much people are sending love from around the nation. Certainly those donations of any size will help.
Yeah, and she's making the point. This is just stretching as far as we can see in every part of town.
It is. My wonder or question at this hour, and I guess everybody's wondering about this, is, you know, the housing shortage that results from all of this, and where do all those people now go?
Right.
And all those people who are out of their houses, the rental market is only limited capacity. And
so many apartment complexes are going to need to make major repairs.
Yes.
We don't know where where everybody's going to go.
Still to be answered.
Yes, and you know, FEMA has started that discussion, and the federal government has started that discussion, but it's going to be a long one, and there's going to be a lot of big problems to solve. Unfortunately, we got the incredibly sad news from the Houston Police Department just a little while ago that they lost one of their own in this flood, and we are now getting a picture of the life that was lost.
Yeah, this is Sergeant Stephen Perez, 60 years old, 40 years?
34-year veteran.
I'm sorry, 34-year veteran of HPD. A very tearful. Police Chief Art Acevedo announced his death today, confirmed he drowned this morning, leaving his house. His wife said, "Don't go to work, it's too dangerous." He said, "I got to go out there and help people," and ended up drowning at the Harvey and Beltway, right?
Yes, I was actually the Cajun Navy that recovered